You could call it the earnings week of the 800-pound tech gorillas. Microsoft, Twitter, Amazon, and Facebook are all making their big quarterly reveals between now and Friday, but investors will only have one eye on the numbers. The other's going to be scrutinizing what Capitol Hill plans to do about privacy complaints. One of Silicon Valley's biggest bosses has come out to muse whether everyone's complaints about privacy violations are really simply driven by us, the media. Former Google executive chairman and CEO Eric Schmidt telling Yahoo Finance he believes America's current sense of dissatisfaction with the tech industry is actually a, quote, perception that the press has. Adding that based on studies, people really like tech products and they're using them more and more. Guess you can't have both, privacy and using them more and more. Well, either way, here comes Congress. Can Congress solve the privacy problem while leaving the good parts of tech intact? Joining us now in his first interview since becoming the CEO of the Information Tech Industry Council, Jason Oxman, first on Fox Business. Good to have you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Liz. It's great to be here with you.
Okay, now that was the nice part of Liz. Now comes the mean kitty Liz.
Okay.
Blaming the press, really? That is so old and so unoriginal. We aren't the ones who are complaining that Google and Facebook revealed certain private things. You know, do you agree with Eric Schmidt that this is a perception problem that the press has pushed?
I think there is some truth to the idea that there's a techlash, as we like to call it, out there. But there also is some legitimacy to concerns that consumers have about protecting their privacy, for example. You mentioned Congress paying particularly close attention here, and we know that federal privacy legislation is going to happen. In fact, the tech industry supports it. So I think there's a balance between those two.
Okay. In what form do you support it?
We want federal privacy legislation. We want Congress to act. We want Congress to act as quickly as possible. We think it should be enforceable. We're seeing a lot of states step in the void and adopt state-by-state legislation. That's not helpful to the industry. We want to see a national standard imposed by Congress, and we're in support of it.
Jason, that's what the Europeans did. They did the General Data Protection Regulation Plan.
That's right.
And everybody had to comply.
That's right.
So why do we see U.S. companies pushing back and saying, well, no, we don't want to do that? And all that was giving the user total power over his or her data.
That's right. GDPR is something, actually, as an industry, we support as well. The most important thing that GDPR did, it took 28 separate national privacy regimes in Europe and unified them so the tech industry could offer a single product or service across the entire continent without trying to figure out how to get data to follow different rules when it hits national borders. If we did the same thing here in the U.S., and instead of having 50 separate regimes across the country, if consumers knew that their privacy would be protected pursuant to one federal regime, I think that would be ideal, and the tech industry supports that.
Okay, but now you've got Congress and members of Congress all over the map. Now, they can rarely agree on anything from across the aisle, but they're agreeing on kind of bearing down, if not beating up on tech. You just had Senator Ted Cruz saying that Facebook and Google have an anti-conservative bias. On the other side, Senator Warren saying these guys should be broken up. Those two. And then recently, actually not as recently as those complaints, but you had Senator Jason Hawley, who's a Republican of Missouri, along with Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, both outraged that Facebook had allegedly paid teenagers to convince them to add a VPN that would allow Facebook to wiretap these kids, essentially, and find out everything they were doing on their phones. That's not the press getting upset. That's parents infuriated. And now, you know, you got to look and say, you got to bring in the heavy hand of government. Can government do both?
This is a good opportunity for government to step in. Now, of course, we have a great tradition in this country of the marketplace, innovation, driving benefits for consumers and businesses.
And tech has, and we thank technology for that. That doesn't mean they get to steal or misuse our data.
So one thing that government does have a proper role of stepping in and handling is when consumers are concerned about their privacy being protected. As you noted, we have bipartisan agreement in Congress that something needs to be done.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thing for you guys.
Well, actually, I think in this case it's a good thing because as the tech industry and as ITI, we support Congress moving forward for all of the reasons you discussed. Consumers are concerned. We need to make sure that Congress can really step in and help restore consumer trust. And the technology industry is a force for good. I think we're kind of getting away from that. That's what Eric Schmidt was really alluding to, the idea that we don't think of the innovation industry as beneficial anymore. It is beneficial. It's enormously important to the U.S. economy. Our crown jewel technology companies do a lot for businesses and consumers, and we need to restore that trust.
Well, I agree. And as James Madison said when he wrote the Federalist Papers, Federalist 51, by the way, I was reading it this weekend, if men were angels, there would be no need for government. But you start acting a little bit devilish, and here comes the government. Jason, it's good to see you.
Liz, thank you for having me.
Jason Oxman, thank you so much.